This is a channeled timeless reading for you when you see it. How are you doing today? We're going to delve through the channel messages that came through ahead of time. And of course, my spirit guides, the angels and source will bring through any additional information that's for your highest good as we go through these. They may also want to flow with some messages before we even get into those. So the first message they'd like to get into, they're showing me a spider. They're talking about negative energies leaving. So if you have been accosted by negative energies or if even felt under assault or anything like that, that's going away soon, or you'll figure out a way through it where it doesn't affect you is something I'm getting quite as much, and that's fully for the highest good. So there are just a lot of negative energies scattering right now is what they're saying, and you'll be free from that, which is good. They're also showing me a net. It also kind of looks like a spider's web as well. I feel like you're escaping from some sort of like trap. As far as what this trap is, it could be like financial burden. It doesn't have to be a literal trap, by the way. It could be financial burdens, or some type of like even like a sticky situation or a job situation that sucks is something I'm hearing as well, or maybe even something you've been stuck in for a while. So pretty soon here, in a good way, in a way that's for the highest good, you're getting out of something that otherwise might keep you stuck or might keep you in a place you wouldn't like to be, is something again you don't want to be. So that's also a good message that's coming through for you right now. I feel like you've been wrestling with something for a while, and again, like it kind of ties in with these earlier messages. You're going to be free of it is something I'm getting, like finally is what I'm hearing as well. They're also showing me a chessboard. Let me see what this chessboard's about here in this next message. I feel like you have put a lot of things into place to succeed, and I feel like that's going to be happening. That could even be happening soon, where you see more success or more forward progress or movement as a result of that, or you might start to see bigger wins coming in the next year is something I'm getting regarding moves you've been making to change things or improve your life, maybe change your work situation, for example. But the good news is you have big wins coming because of choices you've made, and even if it's been like strategic positioning you've put yourself in, like through creating a business a certain way or setting your life up a certain way, it's going to pay well for you is something I'm getting, pay off for you. So we're going to read some of the messages that came through ahead of time. So they showed me a squirrel, gave me the word sporadic change. They said, the next few weeks are going to mark sporadic change for you, unexpected developments as well, but also a lot of forward progress. So you're going to be figuring things out really quickly regarding issues, things that have been holding you back, or even issues that crop up, if any, in the next few weeks. I never want to stick you with that or create that, unnecessarily, but if something crops up, I feel like you'll be resolving it pretty quickly. And they're also showing a lot of obstacles falling away regarding this. So again, I feel like if you've been dealing with anything for a long time, like you're going to be getting through it, getting to the other side of it, making headway with it, really changing the situation for the highest good is what I'm getting. Really changing the situation for the better. So as far as like the sporadic change message, maybe you feel like things have been like moving in a zigzag pattern. This is a weird message. Like you're over here, then you're over here, then you're over here. Maybe working on 12 different things, or you feel like your progress hasn't been linear, or maybe you've just felt like you've had a weird line of progress lately, maybe even in the past year or two. For some of you, it might even just be the past 2 months. I'm hearing all different types of time frames because there's different ones of you listening, of course. And what's the message for you regarding all that here? I feel like they're going to be more streamlined, or I actually feel like regarding progress, things will be less sporadic. Interestingly enough, I feel like that's going to be smoothing over or more streamlined, even if there might still be some sporadicness or like working on 3 things at the same time or something, like that's okay. You'll be making progress, which is the main message there. Regarding the sporadic change though, because we kind of talked around it a little bit to a different thing. I mean, it means what it says. Honestly, it means what they said there, where it's just like kind of like random change, or certain unexpected things might fall away, but unexpected things might come in, or new ideas are coming that get you out of the old is something I'm hearing. So there are like sporadic changes in perhaps random areas of your life or areas that you're working on, if that makes sense. And with the unexpected developments part, I don't feel like there's too much of this, honestly. It's more just, let's see what they'd like to say about it fully, if that's good. if there are unexpected developments you aren't expecting, of course, like that's okay, is what they're saying. I feel like it's actually going to lead you forward, or it might even be like helpful for you, like a video randomly taking off or something like that on YouTube or wherever you post. So the next message, there was a message just to not give up on long-term projects or things you've been working on long-term, unless you specifically get the message to do so, like trust your intuition. But especially if you're getting the message to keep going, keep going. But this is your encouragement to keep going and not give up on the things you've been working on. Even if you feel like you haven't seen much progress lately or it's been slower than you'd like, it doesn't mean you won't get there, wherever there is for you. It just means it's a little bit slower, so, or it has been, and not that it will always be that way necessarily. So just don't give up hope is what I'd say. The other thing that they'd like to get to with anything else with that before we move on here, they're showing me the color light blue, which let me see where they'd like to go with this. Links to Mother Mary usually, and the word miracles. I feel like I'm going in a direction they don't want me to go in. So let me see what would be the highest and best way. They being my spirit guides, angels, and source for anyone new to this. Let me see where would be the highest and best place for me to go with this. The good message is I feel like there are unexpected miracles coming, especially in your work life. Could be in your family life as well if that's been troubling you. But especially for things that just, I feel like this is the message, not been moving forward, there are miracles coming, which is good. And I would pray for miracles. I'd invite that in. But you can have miracles and you will have miracles. So next thing they showed me, and I am not sure if this is the correct word for this, but it was like an ammonite or something like that. And I can't remember if that's an actual thing or if that's a Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon. I just remembered. I think it's like called ammonite or something like that. And it's kind of like an ancient like shelled creature or like the shell or something like that. And I could be mistaken. So maybe don't quote me on that one. But the message that they wanted to bring through with this was that ancient things are healing quickly. So there are a lot of ancient patterns that are unraveling quickly, which will allow you to move forward more easily with any work, like we've been saying. So you've been healing a lot of ancient patterns recently. I feel like that could have been the holdup, is certain ancestral patterns healing, or things like that you're kind of stepping out of the way or moving past to finally move forward. And sometimes we don't realize how much that plays into our reality and our experience of life and what we're healing and going through. But I feel like you've been through the worst of it, and that's healing quickly. So you're almost done with that, which is good. Give yourself a round of applause, pat yourself on the back. They're patting you on the back, the angels and source. So again, you're almost through this, which is good. Next, there was a message about abundance, just to not give up on abundance, keep working towards abundance. You are not hopeless. Sometimes we have the story that we're hopeless or we can't have this because XYZ, because our family, because of expectations, because we have a family and we need this job, etc. It doesn't mean you can't have abundance. It doesn't mean you can't create your life or a better future. So even if it takes time, don't give up. And even if it doesn't take time, don't give up. Just, it's not a good time to give up is what I'd say. Unless you're specifically guided to do something different. And even then, that's not necessarily giving up, that's pivoting, So don't worry about that. Next, they gave me the color red. They said grounding is important. So grounding is key for some of you. Grounding every day will bring you better results in life. Especially for those of you who need to hear that, or you've been floating through life and confused and uncertain and picking up on anyone's and everyone's stuff, or anything like that. Grounding is going to help you release other people's energies. It's going to help you get clarity. It's going to help you feel less confused, of course. It's also going to help you feel more you. And if you are worried about grounding getting in the way of your gifts or anything like that, like intuition or channeling, it won't for you is something I'm getting. So just ground optimally. And there's multiple ways you can ground. Maybe that's not the best thing to get into for the rest of this reading. But so I'll let you do your grounding practices or look it up or get what's right for you. But I mean, a few things you could do, like you could just visualize yourself standing barefoot on the ground for a bit, almost like a meditation. And it's as if you are actually standing on the ground, you get energetically grounded. So there's multiple ways to ground, do what works for you, but this is your reminder to do that. So I also feel like your root chakra is healing rapidly. Your chakras almost might be healing as well, like from the bottom up. almost like an elevator or something. Like they were showing me an elevator, like maybe like you start at the root and it goes up. So I feel like the universe is working a lot out of your chakra system that's been sticking you, or it could just even be other people's stuff. So I don't, let me see how they'd like to clarify this better for you. This message here. They're just saying, you know what, there is a lot that's healing out of your chakra system for the highest good. So just be patient with yourself. Source is working through almost like an elevator, floor by floor, maybe chakra by chakra, area by area. And you don't realize it's happening. It's just what's been happening is something I'm getting either through like things around you that have been healing your chakras, or just through the experiences you've been going through. I feel like you're almost at the, well, what's the way to say this? Because they were giving me this phrase, you're almost at the top. So let me see what that's about. Some of you are almost done with this. Others you might even just be beginning, but just know there's a lot being worked out of your chakra system and you might need to be patient with it. But that's a good thing because you'll be clearer and better on the other side of it. I don't know if it's good that you have to be patient. It is what it is, but it's going to be beneficial because on the other side of it, you'll be clearer. You'll be, you know, it'll just get you to a better place. Next message, they're showing me like a, let's see here. They're showing me a volcano with an X over it. Here's a reminder not to like explode at people. This is something I'm getting. If you've been doing that lately or been tempted to, isn't that helpful for you is something I'm getting. I would focus on being kind, which was one of the messages that came through ahead of time as well. And like trying not to be rude to people. We'll get to that in a second here. Actually, we'll read it now. So they showed me Big Bird, like from Sesame Street, and they gave me the word friendly. They just said to be kind to people. It makes a difference. There's no reason to be rude or short unless intuitively it is the best move to make, such as to protect your energy or to keep someone on the street away from you. So I feel like kindness is key, and it's also going to help lead you to victory. So do your best to be kind to everyone as much as you can. That's for the highest good and as much as intuitively feels right to you. It could also just like turn the tables in your favor if you're intentionally being kind with people. Hopefully you're not trying to be rude, but instead of trying to be rude or anything like that. So gentle reminder there. That just might help you with your personal life. Next, they showed me grapes, and it was a message that rewards are coming. So if you keep working and going and grinding, you have rewards coming. The message is to keep going, of course, but I feel like I'm filming this in March. I feel like you have rewards coming in March. So that's this month. If you're watching it in the future, it could be rewards coming to you in March or things like that as well. I just feel like there's more coming your way than you realize regarding rewards for past efforts, or rewards for what you're working on now. So keep working is what I say, keep going. Even if it's a grind. I don't even feel like some of you have to grind too hard. You just have to keep working, even if it's with ease. And they don't want me to steer you in the wrong way with that. So do what works best for you regarding all of that. Keep working. Next message, they show me an emperor. And with the emperor, it was a message of, well, they're redirecting me a little bit. They're showing me a dove as well. They're showing me a peace offering, like a dove flying in with a twig, like kind of like, I think that was from Noah's Ark, right? From that story. Haven't been in Christian school in a while. Fun fact, I grew up Catholic. I'm not Christian or Catholic anymore, but fun fact. And so what's up with the peace offering here? I feel like the universe is actually extending you a peace offering, even like regarding certain work you've been doing. Could be regarding your family or a certain area, especially where things have been like blowing up, but not necessarily in like a good way blowing up, if that makes sense. I feel like more peace is coming to that area. If you're someone who's divinely guided and operates intuitively, do your best to follow that divine guidance. It will bring peace in. For others of you, I feel like this will just show up, which is good. But I feel like you're getting a peace offering in some area, especially regarding your work is what's coming up. They showed me an emperor next. It was a message to not be surprised at how big you can build things in your life, whether it's financially, it's the kinds of relationships you have, it's having nice things, whatever it is. You are not a small person. You are not weak and insignificant. You can have nice things and build big things. Consider this your message to keep trying. So I feel like there's more with that emperor as well in this message here. I feel like you're ascending. It could be ascending in business. They're showing me ascending in business, ascending vibrationally as well, ascending in multiple avenues even. And this is going to help you drastically. So Don't limit yourself or stop yourself if you feel like you're growing, or cut your work short because you're afraid of like growing too big or something like that. Like, don't stop that process is what I'd say regarding growing. It just also just, again, the message is things can be bigger than you realize, or than maybe even you recognize right now. Some of you are intuitive. You can, maybe you don't even need this reading. You get all the messages and you do recognize it. But here's your reminder, I suppose. They're showing me this chessboard again here. They're giving me the words work smart. I feel like the universe is giving you the option to work smart, and like, you know, that phrase, work smarter, not harder. So it'll be easier to work smart, and maybe you won't have to work as hard. I'm not saying don't work hard, but make sure you're working smart if you're going to work hard. Make any like hard work worth it, you know, instead of just redundant or pointless hard work, or, you know, busy work for the sake of busy work. I just also feel like there's more strategy coming in for your growth in a certain area. Could be business or social media, or could even be with a relationship where you get the ideas, the tools, the techniques to grow your business, for instance, or grow something you're looking to build in your life, which is fantastic. So new strategies that will help you. I feel like that's it for the reading. The things on this whiteboard, by the way, those were just, I channeled those. That's what they told me, spirit guides, angels, and source, to put on the whiteboard. So you deserve good things. Go big. And those are Valeumi symbols at the top. That's a whole other ball game we could talk about. That's energy work symbols I received for a modality I did teach and was going to teach, though things have shifted in that arena, so we'll see what I'm guided to do with that. But Valeu is good for energy healing and just kind of getting to the heart of things, shifting things for the highest good. And then Vumu, Festu, and Vastu are really good for energy clearing. Festu is destroy and rebuild for the highest good. Vastu is, it's kind of like Palo Santo. Once you clear things, it kind of brings in the highest energies to fill the cleared area. It can also kind of push negative energies out of the way. There's a few things it can do. It can like inflate and push negative energies out is something I'm getting. So, and you don't have to limit it to just those definitions. Those are simple and like quick definitions to those, if you were wondering about that. So I feel like there's one last message before we part ways to do today. They're showing me the grapes again. And is the message bigger rewards than you realize? Again, like some of you don't realize how big things can get. You have big rewards coming if you keep working, or bigger rewards coming if you keep working. I feel like life is going to serve you, not in a negative way, like breakdancing, you got served, but it's like life will be more of service to you and bringing you a bit more of what you need more easily. They're also showing they're giving me the word groundbreaking and literally showing a visual of groundbreaking. I feel like you have groundbreaking new ideas coming for you to help you. Whether it's just groundbreaking to you or it's groundbreaking to the world and you're putting something out into the world, could be a combination of both, or you're, you know, getting groundbreaking ideas in, having groundbreaking ideas go out to the world that you're putting into place in the world. But there are a lot of groundbreaking new things coming in for you in the next year, perhaps sooner than that as well, like in the next month. And I feel like that's going to help you move forward. So again, negative energies are scattering and leaving. You know, they're giving me the words big break. I feel like some of you are getting a big break, not necessarily all of you, but some of you are getting like a big break soon of some type, or maybe a major opportunity, or whether it's your work taking off all on your own, you in the universe, or someone's offering you something. There's some type of like break, or a good break coming in for you, which will be good. So they're also showing me a butterfly, and this is the last message they're showing me. It's about evolution and becoming who you're meant to be. All this you've been going through regarding business, regarding your life, regarding the past few years, any difficulty, even any ease, it's teaching you who you are, who you're meant to be. I feel like you're almost there. I mean, many of you listening are there, or are more there than ever, and you've really done a great job of unveiling that, but you're almost there to a bigger level of that and hitting a higher level with your evolution than ever before. And again, more ease is on the way. So they're showing me the concept of like naked as well, like Adam and Eve, or someone naked. So what's up with that here? And they're giving me the phrase bare your soul. And they're giving me the phrase that vulnerability is key as well. So many of you are afraid to be vulnerable with yourself, if you have a following, with your following, with a partner, with your relationships in the world. try to be a little bit more vulnerable with yourself, with others. It's going to lead to a lot of healing, and there are people around you that would receive that well, even if you might think that they would hurt you for it or it would expose you in a negative way. It won't, is something I'm getting. And of course, you can be careful with that message. Make sure you're not just being vulnerable with a narcissist or someone who you have a narcissistic dynamic with, like empath, narcissist. You're the empath, hopefully. Yes. So make sure it's with the right people, and you will, is something I'm getting. But if you feel called to be vulnerable, I would do it. So anything else before we part ways today? So I feel like that's the reading. The last thing is, I feel like you're going to be exposed, but in a really positive way. Like what we were just saying, like your work gets exposed to the world, but people love it. Or something launches before you were ready, but it gets received well. Or you're emotionally vulnerable with a friend and it works well. If you're guided to do that and it feels good to you intuitively, trust your intuition on that. But I feel like that's a good thing. And again, will bring healing and could show you are on the right track. Show you are on the right track. So I hope that was helpful. Did whatever was for the last good for it to do for you. I will see you on another post.